Hello everyone. Well, I'm back today. I want to answer some questions for some folks. Constantly getting questions from people to say, why did my jelly or my jam not set up? Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about pectin. And first thing I want you to know what pectin is. Pectin is a type of fiber, and fiber thickens. And so if you just think about it like that, and then in order for pectin to work in making jams and jellies and things like that, there has to be a balance of some things. First of all, you have to have the right amount of sugar, the right amount of acid, and the right amount of pectin. And then, of course, it depends on the kind of fruit that you're using. Some fruits like apples and citrus fruits, in their peelings, they have high amounts of pectin. But once you peel away those peelings, it's no longer there. And so the other thing you're going to need to figure out is which fruits are the most acidic. Now, I'm going to say this, the best way to know how to make your jelly and how to make it set up and all that is to follow a recipe, be it in the pectin package or a ball book or whatever. Follow a recipe. Do not try to double that recipe. And another thing that I have found to be true through the years is if you try to do it on a day whenever it's real humid, that can affect your things sometimes. And the other thing is the kind of pectin that you're using. Now, there are pectins that are specially made to use with low sugar recipes. There is no pectin, no liquid pectin that is set up, that's made to use for a low sugar recipe. So if you're doing low sugar, make sure you get one that says low sugar on the packaging. Now, the kind of pectin that I use is this right here. The reason is because most of your pectins that you buy have an expiration date on them. This particular one says that it's good indefinitely. So it's worth it to me, even if I had to spend just a little bit more for it, to make sure it's going to be shelf stable indefinitely. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is that there is a big difference between pectin and gelatin. They both are gelling agents, but gelatin is made to be kept refrigerated. Once it comes out of the refrigerator, it's no longer going to be jelly. If you've made Jell-O before, you take it out and sit it on the counter, eventually it's going to turn into Kool-Aid. Not really Kool-Aid, but you get the picture. So anyway, make sure that you get pectin, like Sure Gel is one of them, or this one this is called Pomona's Universal Pectin. And so make sure that you're using the right product. Now, the other thing that is sort of a rule of thumb, if you had pectin that was bulk or something like that, is the ratio of pectin to fruit to sugar. And it's 1-to-1, your sugar, your acid, and then your pectin. Like, now I'm going to give you an example here. If you had a recipe that called for 10 cups of sugar and 10 cups of lemon juice, you would use 1 cup of acid, like your lemon juice. So it's 1 to 1 to 1/10 is your typical ratio of what to use. Now, that can vary based on the kind of fruit that you're using. If you're using a high pectin fruit, that'll probably work just fine. But if you're using something that is very low pectin, and that's where you're going to have to, get on the internet and research how much pectin is in your fruit. Also, how much acid is in your fruit. Of course, if you're using those ratios, then you're going to have enough acid. The acid is important when you're doing jams and jellies and stuff like that, because the acid is what activates the pectin. So, and then also, once you've made your jam or your jelly, we've all had this happen. We made it and it did not gel. Open it back up, pour it into a pot, and let it boil. Now, when you add sugar to it, sugar increases the boiling point. You want to use a thermometer and make sure that you get it up to 220 degrees. Keep stirring it so it does not burn. That's important. I'm shaky today, can y'all tell? I should have gotten my tripod. But anyway, I just wanted to cover this with you for a few minutes. If you have questions about this, be sure and leave me a message in the video. Thank you, and God bless you.